Hi, I'm Ryan Meinerding. I'm head of visual development at Marvel Studios. I've been there working on the Marvel movies since Iron Man, and I've been fortunate enough to work on all the Iron Man movies, all the Cap movies, all the Avengers movies, and it's been a lot of fun. I lead a team where we actually do all the concept and character design and keyframe illustrations for the Marvel Studios movies. So we'll get information about, there's a new Captain America movie, we'll go look at the comics, try and find like the best source material from the comics to base things on, and then we'll just start doing versions of Cap and present them to the directors and producers and try to get something approved. And after a couple rounds of revisions, we'll get those approved. And then we'll also art direct the design through the costume department, to help them figure out how that illustration is going to get translated to a practical costume, or if it's a visual effects character, we'll art direct, through the creation in visual effects as well. People have asked me that question a lot, and one of the interesting things is working on Iron Man was my first big movie, but I've been at Marvel for 11 years now, so I've kind of been there to grow with the company. So I had gone to school. I graduated from Notre Dame with an industrial design degree, and then worked for a little bit, and then went to Art Center for illustration. And I had done, around the same time, I had also done some video game work. I had worked for Midway and Raven Software, and who else did I work for? Did some stuff for Sony Santa Monica. Worked on God of War 2, and then I got hired by Ian McKeag to help work on a small movie he was working on called Outlander. So I was doing some Viking designs for that, and through Ian, I worked on a couple cool projects, and one of them ended up being a version of John Carter of Mars that was being done by Jon Favreau. And it was a really cool project because I got to work with Ryan Church, Phil Saunders, Ian, Dave Krentz, but we would show up at John's house every Friday and show artwork that we had done through the week. So I got to know John, and John decided not to go forward with that project, but the next project he had was Iron Man, and he hired me onto Iron Man. So I've had a very fortunate career, and I consider myself very lucky. It's amazing. When we were working on Iron Man, it was just sort of like a fun. For me, again, it was my first big movie, so I was just excited to be there at all, and I had no idea what it was going to become. I don't know. It's been probably, I was as fortunate in my career as I could possibly bet. The people that I have worked for have always been as kind as they could possibly have been, and I feel like I don't think I could have said I wanted a better job. I consider myself very lucky. No, I'm working on Avengers 3 and 4, which is a lot of fun. I'm excited for those to come out and for you guys to see what we've been doing. Worked a little bit on Thor Ragnarok. I designed the Hulk armor and Hulk's look for that movie. Had just gotten done redesigning Spidey for Civil War and for Homecoming, which was kind of a dream come true. Coming up, Black Panther's also, on the slate before Avengers, but it's all fun. There's a lot of amazing things coming out. I've always just followed what I'm passionate about. I've been in doing that, working as hard as I possibly could to create the portfolios that I thought were going to help me get jobs. Were kind of just the direction that I took. I did go to school for a long time. If you add up the years, I technically was in school for 7 years, which is sort of silly to say out loud, but that's what it took. So I would say work hard, be passionate about what you're doing, and try and get your stuff out there. It's sad when you ask that question. I actually have to be like, what do I do? One of the things about my life is I feel like my life boils down to two very simple things: my family and my work. I don't really have that many outside hobbies. I really am so focused on trying to get through the work that we have and make sure that everything that we're doing for Marvel Studios is at a very high level. And sadly, that means I don't really have a lot of hobbies other than things that are going to go back into my work. I do like reading comics, like reading, like watching movies. That was one of the reasons I got into doing movies in the first place too, is films are some of my favorite things ever. So I get to watch movies all day when I work, which is another amazing part of my job.